The KA6 LMS club members and our guest operators have used the on-stage radios and worked thousands of our ham radio fans for 9 seasons. March 24th to March 30th will be your last chance to contact the station. Here are some past activations, in no particular order.
CQ20, this is Kilo Alpha 6, last man standing, Kilo Alpha 6, Lima, Mike Sierra, listening for any calls.
CQ, this is Kilo Alpha 6, Lima, Mike Sierra, calling CQ.
How do you take that?
209 in Quebec, Zulu India, K9 QZI.
How do you remember your lines?
True.
Yeah, we're making it all the way to the East Coast. And believe it or not, they claimed we were at a +2 dB to them.
Okay, I've got you in the log, and I'll say 73 for now so I can grab another one and then pass the mic over to some other folks here.
CQ from KA6 LMS Kilo Alpha 6, Lima Mike Sierra, calling CQ and standing by.
Hey Gordo, WB6NOA, this is K9EID. It's nice to hear you. Oh, you sound great.
We are fine, and I have the honor of being in Tim's radio room at the studio with many, many hams around us here at the studio.
CQ. This is KA6LMS, the club station on the set of the TV show Last Man Standing, and we're operating on Reflector 12A from Los Angeles.
Katie says hi.
KA6 Lima, Mike Sierra, QRZ.
Alpha 6, Romeo Alpha.
AA6RA, you're 5 and 9.
This is KA6 LMS calling from the Last Man Standing set, Studio City, QRZ.
Oh my god.
Boy, she can
Oh my god.
CQ20. Hello, CQ20. This is Kilo Alpha 6, Lima Mike Sierra. Kilo Alpha 6, Lima Mike Sierra, calling CQ20 and standing by.
AF6FB operating from Studio City, running the KA6 LMS Last Man Standing DMR operating event.
This is Kilo Alpha 6, Lima Mike Sierra with November 2, Romeo Juliet at the mic, QRZ.
So we're trying to make as many contacts as we can, but this is not a competition, so we're quite happy to chat and shoot the breeze about what's going on with the show. Go ahead.
Ending Lima.
Whiskey Yankee 7, Yankee Lima.
Oh, hi Katie. Whiskey Yankee 7, Yankee Lima. You're 5 for 9. Last man standing set. Over.
Roger that. Hope you're sounding great. Thanks so much. You're 5-9 here in Wyoming. Have a great time, sweetie.
QSO, my name is Hope, Hotel Oscar Papa Echo, and we're working you 5-9 here into Studio City at the KA6 LMS Last Man Standing set.
And CQ. This is Kilo Alpha 6, Lima Mike Sierra.
This is KA6 LMS, working with the Last Man Standing Amateur Radio Club.
KA6 LMS.
Good evening, Tom. W5KUB, KA6 LMS.
CQ20, Kilo Alpha 6, Lima Mike Sierra, listening for any calls.
Kilo Alpha 6, Lima Mike Sierra, calling CQ from the set of Last Man Standing in Studio City, California.
K2 TV, go ahead.
Bob, K2 TV, says solo. And thanks for doing that, Lauren. K2 TV.
Kilo Alpha 6, Lima Mike Sierra, Kilo Alpha 6, Last Man Standing.
This is KA6 LMS, the club station on the set of TV show Last Man Standing.
CQ from Kilo Alpha 6, Lima Mike Sierra from the stage in Studio City of Last Man Standing.
CQ 20 meters, this is KA6 LMS from the set of Last Man Standing.
It's Whiskey Echo 7, Oscar Mike Golf. I've got you 30 over 5-9 here in Utah.
QSL 30 over 5-9. Wow, that's pretty good. You're not that far away, but still, I'm going to take it. I got you 5-9 in California. Name here is Rob, Romeo Oscar Bravo, QSL.
QSL, thanks, Rob. You're in the log.
For more information about the KA6LMS special radio event, go to www.gsbarc.org/LMS.
What is going on, all you party people?
Actually, I was muted too.
That's the stream that we know.
See?
We're back.
See? What? Yeah, we're back. We're back to technical difficulties caused by our own ignorance. Oh gosh.
Ooh.
Okay. Oh,
Put that in a shirt. I'll buy that.
Oh, that's a great. Yeah, that's a great idea. I think I should do that. So, what's up, man? How are you tonight?
Oh, I'm doing good.
Yeah.
Oh, whoa! I got an echo. You fixed the audio in the stream. It just popped. There it is.
Okay. Yeah. No, it's yeah. Tio says he thinks it's better this way. No audio. I think you should take that advice yourself, Steve. Try that on your Nugget show sometime. So yeah.
Frank tripped over the plug.
No,
Don
that was my fault. I had to mute the two audio streams, the one from me and the one from you, to let the movie audio play. And then when that ended, I flipped over the video and not the audio because I've never done this live stream thing before.
No,
so it's my first time.
Yep.
And I just that's how I am. So
tonight I am going on my continue trip due to my stepbrother.
Okay.
Beers around the world.
Okay.
I am going to Germany for a German Pilsner at Worcester. Woo.
Oh, cool.
Focus. There it is. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that is the first beer of the night. Again, these usually sit out because I don't know why I haven't put them in the fridge yet. So they are warm because I forgot to put them in the fridge before the stream. But what's German beer?
Well, with German, I guess,
or
I guess with German beer, I guess it's okay. But yeah, that's still kind of weird. I don't know. Okay. I am drinking water tonight because I had quite a bit of beer this weekend. So I think I will forego the beer on tonight's stream.
I couldn't tell.
And
with a flaming Christmas tree.
I know it. Yeah. Yeah. With a flaming Christmas tree. So, okay. Eric is popped in.
Oh, there he is.
He is, go ahead and admit him. He is 16 hours ahead of us. He's in a weird time.
Oh, wow.
He's like plus 2 UTC. No, I guess that'd be 8 hours. No, he's more than that. I don't remember what he is. I don't remember what it is. But Eric, good evening, sir. How are you?
Check your audio. Make sure you enabled it. Oh, I'm hearing it.
I hear him. He's not hearing me. So good. Yeah.
We can hear you, Eric. Check your audio output. Make sure it's on the correct place.
Right.
You might have to do it inside a Zoom.
Right. All right. Talk to him for a minute, Frank. I'm going to mute you guys and move over to a different window here. So obviously tonight we're going to be talking about the QSO Today Virtual Ham Expo coming up next weekend. That's fine. The event starts Friday night, and we're going to do a happy hour live stream that night. So that'll be fun. And got that there. As I mentioned on the show last week, there is a women's ham radio technician class being taught that's starting on March 11th, Thursday. That's this coming Thursday. It's going to go for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then the following week it will go Thursday, Friday, Saturday again. You can contact AC7UH at ARRL.net. AC7UH at ARRL.net. So that is gonna be that's something I was asked to pass along. I was happy to do it. So, is that a Pepsi cup? No, that's this right here. This is a clear cup. I'm not sure which one you're talking about. So, so Smoking Apes in the house. Smoke Signals RF is in the house. You guys should start a smoking channel together, by the way. And there's that. So, also the weekend after next. So yeah, like 2 weeks from now, Hamsci. Those of you into space weather, personal space weather station, the Tangerine SDR project that they've been talking about for about a year and a half. Those of you into that will want to catch the Hamsci, which is a virtual event, going to be a virtual event this year again, the same as it was last year. I'll be recording all these presentations and putting them on my channel. But you can join the event and follow along the multi-person Zoom event, and go to hamsci.org, hamsci.org. You can get details on times and see what's being presented and that kind of stuff. So that was a fun event last year. Most of that stuff's way over my head, but it is, kind of like NASA meets Hamradio space weather type thing. So it's fun to listen to, and it's fun to expand your horizons on. And we broke 73,000 today. Happened about 4 hours ago, I guess it was, something like that. 73,000 subscribers on this channel. That is awesome. Thank you to all of you who made that happen. I am going to be doing a giveaway, but I didn't quite get all of the stuff. I've got a bunch of little things to give away. It's not going to be anything really big. Like we gave away an IC705 for the 50,000 live stream. When I get to 100,000, which if you can never tell how the channel growth is going to be. Maybe midsummer, something like that. I'm going to be giving away something big. I already know what I want to give away. We're going to see if I'm going to be able to make it happen. This time I'm just giving away several little things. Going to be giving away some Flex Radio t-shirts. I've got a couple of antenna kits from K6ARK. I've got some BioInno parts, a BioInno solar charge controller, a solar panel, and a battery, brand new. And I've got some other 2 or 3 items coming in that I don't have yet. So I want to make sure I get everything to get the list together before I set up a giveaway, because I don't know exactly what all is going to be in there yet. So hopefully on the live stream this coming Wednesday for my lunchtime live stream, I'll be able to announce what that is, and then I'll put that up on the list and be able to let you, and I'll give it a couple of weeks worth of time for everyone to sign up for the giveaway so that nobody misses out. So nobody's going to miss out on anything. We're just not going to do it tonight because I don't have the complete list of what's going to be there. So sorry about that. But a week from tonight, I will be bringing on John and I think Aaron and maybe one other person to this live stream for the Last Man Standing event. The short clip that you saw at the beginning of this beginning of this stream was sent to me about 2 hours ago by John, and he's like, "Hey, you can use this if you want to." And it was a bunch of guest speakers, and I had a little 10-second blurb in there, so that was kind of fun. But they'll be coming on next weekend at this Sunday night live stream to talk about that event that happens the last of this month. Really looking forward to that. Should be really fun to do that there. AC8XU. What? No FTDX 101? No, it won't be a FTDX 101. It will not be a Yaesu. I'm not dogging Yaesu. I'm saying I want it. I want to give away one of my favorite radios. See if you can guess what that is. All right, let's see if I've got these guys back yet. Give me a second here. Hey, you guys good? Okay, let me switch my. I'm good. How are you? Yeah, I couldn't remember if it was late or early for you. Are you UTC +2? Okay. It's 3 a.m. Okay. I can't remember. I talked to somebody the other day who was okay. All right, good. Well, thank you, Frank, for keeping Eric talking while I had a couple of announcements to do, and we got done through that. So, Frank, if you want to do your video off thing, and Frank's going to be sitting in the background fielding questions. He'll be able to come in through audio, but he's going to turn his video off so we can focus on Eric. In fact, you know what? Let me make sure I've got this. Oh no, that's okay. That's okay. No problem at all. Yeah, that's okay. That's all right. It's no problem. So, okay, so this is Eric, 4Z1 Uniform Golf. He's been on the show a couple of times. He's going to talk to us today about the virtual Ham Expo that starts next Friday night, 6 p.m. Pacific time. Yes. Okay, give me a 1-2 count, Frank.
This is Frank, KG5AHJ. 1 2 1 2 3 4. We'll see
Okay.
if that comes through.
Okay. Audio. Yeah, everybody. Well, and there's a delay there also, so everybody's talking about audio now. So yeah, okay. I think you guys were. Yeah. Again, this is the first time I have ever live streamed, guys. So you're gonna have to bear with me here because I've never done this before. So, or I'm just stupid. Or I'm just stupid. Okay. All right. That's good. All right. I think we got it now. We're good. So sorry about that. Eric, good evening. Eric is UTC +2. He is the host of the QSO Today Virtual Ham Expo, which starts next weekend, 6 p.m. Pacific time. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is that right?
Right. I've gotten a lot of messages about PST and PDT. So it starts 6 p.m. PST.
Yeah.
But on Sunday, it's PDT.
Right. Yeah, that's right.
Right.
What a weekend to choose it. I didn't think about that. Yeah. Because daylight savings time happens Saturday night. That's crazy. Wow. Oh. Okay. Well, I guess it is what it is. So we'll see. Cool, man. Well, thanks for being here tonight, and appreciate you joining us. So we spoke 2 or 3 weeks ago about, and you got to show us a little bit of the virtual tour through what the user experience will be on the platform and some changes that were done. I actually went in. I got an email from Emanuela about a week ago asking me to set up my booth. So I went in there and did that, but I couldn't figure out where the podcast pavilion was. I'm sure I just probably missed it.
Mm-hmm.
And
so the podcast pavilion for you will actually just be on the session listing. And then when you push the yellow button, you'll be in the podcast pavilion.
Okay.
Right. So it's by the session. It kind of takes you in the right door. You can't get lost.
Oh, okay. So I didn't know if there was a certain booth or room or category you had to click on or something like that to go where I needed to go. I wasn't sure exactly how to do that, but I got a couple other. I sent her a couple other questions. I haven't heard back from her yet, so I'm sure we'll get together sometime this week. We can figure it out. It's not a problem. So
the concierge will make sure that you go into the right room.
Right. Totally. Good. So what's new? I know you wanted to talk last time we spoke. You wanted to talk about some presentations and presenters that you had, and how that I know you've expanded on that since the show that happened last fall. So please, whatever you've got for us, feel free.
Well, I think we have almost 90 presentations now.
Wow.
In the lineup. Those are presentations. We've got 4 build-a-thons that are live over the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm told that each one of those build-a-thons has sold at least over 100 kits. Now, those kits aren't coming from the expo. Those are coming from the individuals that are doing the build-a-thons. But that means that there's a number of people that are going to do the build-a-thons. I've even gotten messages from people that want to know what equipment and tools they should have in order to build. So we've got a lot of beginners now, it looks like. So we've got 4 build-a-thons going over the weekend. We've got CW Ops is having and it looks like a social from 5 in the evening PST on Saturday. So that's 1700 PST to 800 PDT Sunday morning. So through the middle of the night, they'll have 20 tables in the main lounge and with their label on it. So people can come and visit with CW Ops operators. We'll have 200 tables in the main lounge. So they have plenty of room to spread out and talk with their friends. We've got
Good.
a whole satellite track that Michelle Thompson, W5NYV, has put together. And that satellite track is, I think, almost 12 presentations. They actually have a techno dance evening scheduled for 1800 PST on Friday evening. So there's a lot of stuff going. Ham Radio Workbench will be online at 1800 PST Friday, and we'll also have you, as a matter of fact, live.
I will be. Yeah, I'll be
so
live streaming.
We're trying a whole bunch of things with this, with the platforms and the technology that we're using. Of course, David Minster, NA2AA, he's the new CEO of the ARRL, will be the keynote speaker on Saturday at 1200 PST.
Okay.
And that should be very exciting because he's has a new vision for how the ARRL should operate and where he's going to take it, along with the support of all of his directors. So we have a big program. So what I'm saying is we've got a program for beginners to experts. One of the criticisms that we took very well was GAs for satellite radios, for radios in space.
Oh wow!
So
that's going to be quite
a little bit over my head, probably,
right.
but it should interest some of the engineers that are in the group.
Totally. Yeah. So I pulled up the website and I did a screen overlay here just a second ago. I've got. It looks like your build-a-thons consist of learn to solder, the NS40 QRP transmitter. Let's see, building the Crick key, which I've actually got one of those in a box over there somewhere. And let's build something, the mini sudden receiver. I don't know what that is. So that's quite
something that's a W1REX design, actually.
Okay. And
but what's really cool about this is, you could build this in an hour or so, hour and a half, and actually have something working.
Right. Yeah, that's fun.
So,
cool. Well, Frank, you can post the link to the expo in the chat if you.
I got it in there at least once, but we will definitely throw it in there throughout the night.
Right.
So you don't have to scroll up on there to find it.
Cool. Good deal. So awesome. Yeah, the build-a-thons I think will be good because they get people involved in interaction. And you know what? We started doing some builds on one of the other YouTube guys. He wanted to do a build on his channel. And I've always been kind of, for lack of a better word, I've always been kind of scared of soldering. I mean, I've done it before and I can do it, but I just didn't enjoy it so much. And I thought, and we got a kit. We got this Morcerino kit, this guy right here. And we put that together one night. And afterwards, I'm like, this is not as bad as I remember it being back 10 or 15 years ago, last time I tried to solder. And I actually enjoy kit building now. So that's
why not?
That's an accomplishment.
Well, one of the great things about, being a builder is at a certain point you've burned all the tips off your fingers, because
that's true.
You're thinking and you grab the soldering iron and you grab it the wrong end and
yeah.
So okay.
Yeah,
but
totally.
That's a lot of fun. And I think that'll be a lot of fun. I know that, for example, Rex has told me that he's trying to do it with multiple cameras so that he'll have the ability to actually show the work in progress and take questions from the live audience. So it should be interesting. I'm kind of excited to see how that's going to work.
Totally. Yeah. I'll have to pop into one of those build-a-thons and just kind of follow along. I assume they'll let you just watch it. Do you have to sign up for it, or how does that work?
No, you can just go in, just like it's a presentation. If you have a kit, you can build the kit at the same time that Rex or David or even let me see who Joe Eisenberg, as they're working on it, they'll also be able to take questions from the floor. The system even allows them to promote people to the stage. So if there's somebody that raises their hand, then they can click on that person, and that person that becomes their video comes up on the stage along with them. So they can show their work, things like that. So it'll be interesting. Look, every one of these is an experiment. We're trying to kind of iterate and make it better each time, and we'll learn what we should do in August, August 14th, when we come back. And so we'll see what happens. We're excited. Of course, we're excited. We've spent another 6 months doing this, and hoping we get it right.
Good. That's excellent. Well, cool. That's I mean, I'm definitely looking forward to it. I was impressed with the way it went off last time, and I really did like the survey that you guys sent out. And I know we spoke about that the last time you were on the show, is that you guys you took it to heart. I mean, trying to say, you weren't insulted by what people had to say. You were like, okay, well, that's just room for improvement. And I think everybody was, all of the people that I spoke with were pretty positive about the experience. They're like, yeah, this could have been better, and maybe this was missing, or they felt it was missing. But for all the people I've talked to, most of all have said it was a really cool thing to do, especially since we couldn't physically go to a Hamfest at that point in time. And so I'm looking forward to seeing what new things you have in store, including that podcast pavilion is going to be fun. I think I'm going to have fun with that. I've got a second session scheduled Saturday afternoon, so I think that's going to be a good addition to what you are, to the several. That's not the only new thing you've done, obviously, to the several other things that you've done as well.
Well, we've the whole process of the expo kind of snowballed. I don't think when we started, or when I got this idea and shared it with my friend and partner Brad Grubb, that we would actually turn it into what it's turned into. And so by the time we hit August, we learned a lot, but we were still learning a lot. I think we're still learning a lot, but what we've done since then is we've tried to streamline our processes. The biggest workflow for the expo is managing all the speakers. And so we bought some special software to manage the speakers. That software, I combined that with a programmer, and that's what generates the web page. So the speaker website that went up a couple of weeks ago is actually it's generated in real time. So every time you make a change to your application, like you did, or change your bio or something, then it updates in real time. And that kind of allows us to be able to kind of keep a handle on it, because it's really hard to manage 90 speakers and their co-speakers. But we're making these investments in software and backend, and that will also be the difference, is that we're using two different vendors and platforms. So you have the same platform with the booths that you had last time, but then we've combined it with the AirMeet platform, which kind of gives us that live lounge ability, with the tables and the chairs, so that you can go into like Bigali Keys Lounge, for example, and you can click and sit at the table with Bruna or Pietro. You can look at the video that they have there that shows they have a demonstration of how the keys are made in their CNC machines. And you can talk with them, and you can talk with other people that are visiting the booth. So I think it's going to be a much bigger social experience than the last one was. And of course, then outside of the auditorium, there's 200 tables that will be labeled in various ways along the course of the weekend, for groups to meet together. And we'll just see. I'm kind of excited about, it's kind of like you get to the point where you have this huge anticipation of what it's going to be like, and then you spend the whole week working, and that's
right. Right.
It's kind of like you never get to eat the food at your own wedding.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's the truth of it right there. I remember those days. Oh boy. Okay. Well, how many tickets have you sold so far?
I think we're just over 6,000.
Okay.
But this is what ends up happening at Hockey Sticks in the last the last week. Everyone puts it off, and all of a sudden I start seeing messages, where's that link? Where's that link?
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I think that I hope that we get over 10. I think that we've got a very somebody sent me a great message this yesterday. We have a very high level lineup of speakers and topics, and so and unfortunately there's no flea market, there's no
Yeah.
tailgate. We don't have any junk to sell, and that's usually my favorite thing too. I like the junk. I have a whole attic full of junk, but I think that it'll be. I think we will have an audience that's unique, and we hope that we can grow that audience over time.
Mhm.
But look, there's what is there 800,000 licensed hams in America. There's almost 2 to 3 million in the world, and we'll find our place.
Sure. That's good. I like what you said. I watched you on Ham Nation the other night. You were on there just for a couple of minutes, and I think you said the same thing the last time you were on my show. But you found that, and I'm going to butcher this, so I'm going to let you tell it. But what I'm asking about is, you found that there were a certain number of people who came to the show last time that had never been to a Hamfest before.
We have part of our survey. We ended up surveying the over 25,000 that registered.
Okay.
And then we had 16,000 that came, and we sent a couple of surveys, and we kind of put. What we discovered is that 60% of the people that came to the expo, 60% of those people never go to those like Dayton or Huntsville or Orlando, or they don't go to the state shows, and then 40% of those never go to local shows. So it means that there's and another thing is 20% do not 20% are new. And I remember when I was a new ham, I was kind of intimidated by the hams, because here's these guys with all of this knowledge, and you want to sound like you know something, but you don't know anything. So I think that if 20% is of new hams come to us, there's a way in a non-intimidating way to get to know the hams without feeling like you're overwhelmed by the hams.
Right. Well, that's a good point. It's a real good point. Cool.
On the one hand. On the other hand, what's interesting, I should say, having been a ham almost 50 years, that we don't know so much. I mean, on the one hand, we're very, we can be laser beam focused on one area. We can be amazing contesters, but we're not builders. We can be amazing builders, but we don't operate very often. So there's we all have our specialties. And of course, Ham Radio is now this huge circus tent. I tell people it's a 3-ring circus with the major things in the middle, DXing, contesting, and rag chewing, the 3 rings. But then we have a midway that has 1,000 different tents with different things that people are doing, and it's all Ham Radio. So we're all specialists now, I think.
That's a good way to say it. I tell people outside of Ham Radio, I talk to a lot of other people on YouTube that have YouTube channels that are something outside of Ham Radio. And we have a local meetup group here in Dallas Fort Worth where we used to get together about once a month, but now we do it virtually. But people ask, they say, well, what is Ham Radio? I say, well, Ham Radio is a really, really narrow niche until you get involved in it and you realize how narrow it is not, because there's a lot of stuff inside of Ham Radio that people don't realize it's there until you get licensed to get on the air, and you realize that, oh, I don't have to have the big, huge 60-foot tower in the backyard. I can use a Raspberry Pi, or I can use this, or I can do this. And there's all kinds of good stuff you can do. So it's
well, one of the things, one of the people I interviewed for the QSO Today podcast said that he's a propagation ham. And I thought that was really, well, what does that mean, a propagation ham? He says, well, I like building. I'm a builder. And I like, for example, building a 40-meter a whisper transmitter using a Raspberry Pi, and using the Raspberry Pi to modulate and transmit the signal, with the clock from the Raspberry Pi. And I said, well, so what makes you a propagation ham? He says, well, I take that, then I hook it up to an antenna, and then I go look on the Whisper site, and I see, who hears me, who's hearing me. So for me, he says, I like to spend a lot of time, tinkering and building in the garage and stuff, and then I build something, I hook it up to an antenna or hook it up to a different antenna. Does that antenna now propagate in a different direction? So that makes me a propagation ham. I don't spend any time, rag chewing. I'm not really making contacts, but I'm propagating. And I thought, wow, that's a great idea. The great thing about that is that, let's say you're not a ham and you have an interest in ham radio. You could be a propagation ham without a license, meaning you could do the opposite. You could build yourself a Whisper receiver and hook it up to your antenna, and then you could see who you're hearing. And that could be a way to bring, for example, maybe a maker or someone like that into ham radio, because they're starting in the opposite way, kind of the way we did it, when I was first getting licensed, even before I had my general class license. I used to listen to 80-meter rag chewers late at night using a Heathkit Mohican receiver next to my bed. And I think there's a lot of us who, when we started out, were listening a lot, mostly to shortwave or to hams on the air, to kind of build that excitement as we're getting ready to, take the test.
Right. Totally. Yeah, that's great. That's really great. Well, like I said, it's a narrow niche that's not so narrow once you get into it. So
That's
propagation
exactly
ham.
right.
I haven't never heard that term before, but the way you described it is perfect. I was like, I never thought about that, but that almost sounds kind of fun. I'm like, maybe I should do some Whisper coming up. So that's good.
Well, what's cool about that, if you've got any real estate at all, even if you don't have real estate, John Portune, W6NBC, is doing a talk, an extension of the talk he did in August on his slot antenna. And originally his slot antenna was, he took his satellite TV dish and cut a horizontal slot that turned that into a vertically polarized 2-meter antenna. So if you live in an HOA neighborhood, you could actually have your 2-meter antenna as part of your satellite dish antenna that was allowed, and still have this vertically polarized VHF antenna to work the repeaters or to work local. So then he started in the last expo, and you can certainly go to our YouTube site and watch that first. But then he starts, breaking down the physics of how that antenna works. And he says, well, I think I could apply this to an HF antenna. So what he'll be talking about at this time is more experiments on building an HF antenna that's absolutely ideal. I think it's a vertical antenna in terms of the way that it's physically built, but it's horizontal in the way it propagates. And so if you're a propagation ham and you build an antenna like that, then you can actually see, well, how well does that John's slot HF antenna work around the world from my city lot that's really small, for example? Or maybe this maybe this thing only goes up at night when the neighbors can't see it. And how does that work around the world? So that I think there's some very interesting opportunities, even with some of the speakers that we have, for propagation hams to learn how to propagate.
Totally. Yeah.
I'm gonna step in here real fast.
Go ahead,
here
Frank.
with
I
a
was about to
question.
ask you anyway. Go ahead.
Don from our chat asked, is there any talks about satellites? Since you just mentioned using a satellite dish, I'm going to use that to segue into the question.
Well, that's a great question, Don. We have a whole track of almost 11 presentations on satellites, from becoming a beginner in working satellites from a parking lot with an old dual band portable radio and a handheld dual band antenna, all the way to the most sophisticated. As I say, we have Anshul Makar. I don't think he's a ham, but he's going to be talking about how to fabricate FPGAs, which are these fancy chips that go inside Mars landers and amateur cube satellites. So there's a whole range of satellite activity on the platform, and just look for the amateur satellite logo next to the presentations, and you'll find them.
Oh, that's a great point there. You just sold another ticket here. You said
Yeah,
Mars, and anything Mars, I'm in.
well, I just yeah, and I've seen 2 or 3 people come by in the chat say, "Hey, I just bought my ticket," like as
Well,
they're
thank you.
chatting with us. So,
Well, I
so
hope
that's
they'll
good.
stop by the QSO Today booth, QSO Today Lounge, and come by and say hello to me.
Totally,
And
absolutely.
Sean, not really a question, but a great comment. I got my license after COVID hit. This will be my first Hamfest, and he's totally looking forward to it. And he thanks us all for helping out the hobby.
Well, great,
Excellent.
Sean. We welcome you to the QSO Today Virtual Ham Expo.
Absolutely.
It'll be COVID free, and you can eat anything you want.
And you
I
can
love it.
and you can drink as much as you want. You don't have to drive home afterwards.
That's exactly right. Right.
A lot of sentiment in the chat. We all miss visiting these ham expos, and this is a great alternative until we can get back out there safely. So,
Well, you know what? I would agree. I myself like the live ham expos. For me, it's they're a little bit more involved because I've got to buy a international plane ticket, and I usually make a 2 or 3 week trip out of it. But I think that even after COVID opens up, we still have a constituency that probably won't be traveling for a lot of reasons. And unfortunately, my brother-in-law who works in virology has told us as COVID will be with us probably forever. So there will always be an opportunity, I think, for us to get together virtually as well as in live destinations.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, a lot of this COVID's this is a long story, and it's not really about ham radio, but a lot of this COVID stuff has proven to companies that they can have virtual workers and in some cases get more productions done. So the theory going around right now, and like my wife's company and a couple other people I know who are used to have to go into office every day, they're like, yeah, I think that we're probably going to stay remote and stay virtual even after all this is done, because the company saves so much money by not turning on the lights in the building anymore. So I think there's plenty of opportunity to have even after we get back to Hamvention in Orlando and Germany. I think there's plenty of opportunity to keep a virtual Hamfest going. I think it's something that was birthed out of necessity, but that doesn't mean it has to end just because regular Hamfest start up. So that's great.
Well, I myself, and I think I said this on any of the other shows I've been interviewed on, and that is that in September I started going to a lot of virtual conventions just to get a sense of what those are like. And I spent a couple $100 for tickets in some of them. That is still a lot cheaper for me to go to Hamvention in Dayton. I spent about $4,000 to go to Hamvention, to get there with the hotels and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So $200 for a ticket to a great show is not a lot of money. $10 for the QSO Today Ham Expo is not a lot of money.
Right.
And I think that I find for me this COVID year has meant that I've learned how to use some of these tools better. Obviously, you guys are experts at using these tools, but for me to go to Tel Aviv, which is probably only an hour and a half away, that's a whole day project to go down, try to find parking, to have a meeting with somebody. And I'm doing a lot of meetings myself now using video conferencing, and I like Jitsi. Jitsi has been my amazing discovery because you can just send a link and people click on it and it just works. Zoom, what we're using right now, is great, except it always screws up my audio as soon as I.
Yeah, I'm testing some more. There's Zoom filled a need. And as soon as it did, a lot of other companies came along and said, "Oh, we can do that. We can do that better. We can do that." So I'm actually testing a couple other alternatives to Zoom right now. But yeah, Jitsi's good. I've used that once or twice. There's another thing called StreamYard that you just send a link to somebody and they join and you can stream. You can also record locally, so you don't have to go online if you don't, or you don't have to stream it. You can get together in a meeting and record locally to your local machine, and then you have a movie file. So there's a lot of stuff that's come out of that. I think you're going to see a lot of that evolve as
I
time
also,
goes on.
you know, again, maybe this is off the top of Ham Radio, but you know, we can pontificate just a little bit.
Sure.
And that is maybe COVID has kind of taught us that to spend 2 hours in each direction to work each day. Which if you're in Southern California or even in near some of the larger metropolises, even here in Israel, from where I live, it's 2 hours to get to Tel Aviv in the morning. And 2 hours back. So I think maybe people are kind of reevaluating whether or not spending that much time away from their family every day is worth it.
Right.
You know, especially if you can work from home.
Right. That's totally right. Totally get it. Okay. Frank, did we have any more questions from the chat?
No, not at this time.
Okay.
So some guy, Ham Radio Crash Course, jumped in there.
Yeah, I saw
don't
Josh
know.
in there.
Oh yeah, Josh.
Yeah,
Thank you for swinging by.
We're teasing Josh, but yeah,
yeah. Well, no, I think it's great that he's taken over Ham Nation.
Yeah,
so,
he's doing a really good job with Ham Nation. So really appreciate, really enjoy watching. I stopped watching Ham Nation a while back, but I've started watching again now that Josh is on there. So
well, I think you know, I was watching, or I've been kind of tuning around YouTube, and you guys have really done an amazing job with production value, you know, on these video productions. And yours, of course, is amazing. And Josh has done I was kind of baffled at how well it was handled, how he's got the buttons. I'll have to. You guys have to do a special on the technology that you're using in order to make these productions.
Yeah, we've actually talked about doing something like that. I'll shoot you a link one of these nights. Of course, it's in our time zone, so it might be difficult for you. But yeah,
There's
we
always
could
team replay.
We could do
team
that.
replay for the win.
That's true. That's true. Very true. Okay. Good deal. All right. Yeah, Frank, Travis came in there and asked Mars, M-A-R-S. And I said, Travis, it's not the planet you're from. We're not talking about that. We're talking about something else. So.
I saw that. Travis is always fun.
Travis is a non-ham friend of mine that I used to work with. That is a hoot to hang out with. So anyway,
well,
all right.
Also have, you know, we also have the military amateur radio service, Mars.
Right. That's what we were.
He was not talking about that.
No, he wasn't talking. He was talking about the planet.
I did go through. Do you have a talk on Mars? I was going to link.
We don't have a talk on Mars. I think that maybe by the next expo there might be some hams, especially those that are around. There's a lot of hams at JPL, and so maybe we can find some hams at JPL to talk about, you know, what they're doing at Mars on Mars.
I'm open to assist you behind the scenes on that one.
Frank loves NASA.
Jason knows I'm cheap.
Okay.
Just scrolling through the presenters here, I just stumbled across detecting earthquakes with HF receivers.
Isn't that
That's
amazing?
gonna be interesting.
Yeah, for sure.
That totally blows my mind.
Well, you know, if you live in an HOA, we don't have HOAs here, but we have neighbors that are very paranoid about, you know, big antennas.
Yeah.
So one of the things that you could do is you could tell your neighbor that this is an earthquake detection system. Instead of your HF beam or whatever, and it's really to let them, give them warning that, you know, their neighborhood's going to shake apart. We actually sit on a very dangerous rift here and haven't had a large earthquake in 100 years. So I'm going to try that out in my neighborhood to see whether or not the neighbors will let me have this earthquake early warning detection system.
That's a great idea. Cool. Well, Eric, I know it's really late for you. So is there anything else you want to add? We can not hold you for a long time if you need to go or whatever like that.
Well, I think the only thing I can add is I hope that everyone who's listening will come to the second QSO Today Virtual Ham Expo and hang out with you, hang out with us, and enjoy the amazing presentations that will be there, and the vendors and exhibitors that will also be there.
Excellent. Yeah. I think we're going to give away a couple of tickets here in a minute. I'd emailed you about giving away some free tickets, and I got I think Brad replied to me. So I think I'm going to give away about a couple of, one of my viewers, he contacted me a couple weeks ago and he said, "Hey, I want to buy some tickets just for someone." that you can give away on your show. And I'm like, okay. So he sent me money for 2 tickets, and I think I'm going to add money for 2 tickets to it myself. So anybody in the chat that doesn't have a ticket yet that wants to go to this Ham Expo, put a number between 1 and 100 in the chat. And the 4 of you that are closest to the number in my head right now will get a free ticket. How's that? Just do it that way. Just easy. So
Are you
So
making
you're
work
just
for
gonna reach
me?
in there and pull out a number.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
You said
So,
1 from what?
1 to 100.
100.
The 4 that are the closest. So I hopefully I'll be able to keep up with it by watching the chat scroll by. But yeah, it's the number is not 73, by the way. Everybody's going to say 73. So just so yeah. See, some people are already saying 73.
Oh, a gentleman is taken off. That's why 73 came up. It was Z Lima 1
Oh, that's
Beta
Rolly.
Quebec Delta.
That's
He
Rolly.
said, cheers
Yeah.
from New Zealand.
Yeah.
Well, actually, it's probably middle of the day there in New Zealand. So
yeah,
on Monday.
Yeah.
I think that guy Tank Radio has all the numbers nailed down. He said all the numbers between 1 and 100.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
there's one winner.
Yeah. Whatever. Okay. So yeah, a lot of people are guessing 73. That was not the number in my head. Just actually, someone guessed the number in my head. So you got a ticket. I got you a ticket. Let's see. Nope.
Travis 101. And
Yeah. This is why we like Travis. We tell him a number between 1 and 100, and he picks 101. So it's good. All right, Eric. Like I said, I know it's late for you. I don't want to keep you. So thank you very much for your time tonight. I know it's difficult to get on some of these streams that are due to time zone differences, but looking forward to the show. We will definitely be there Friday night. I blocked off my calendar several months ago and told my wife, I said, I'm going to be going to this virtual Hamfest, but I'm going to be right out in the Ham Shack, so I'll be here the whole time. So she's like, okay. But
well, we have our crew in North America who will greet everyone. I myself won't show up until probably Saturday morning around 10 o'clock Pacific. But
okay.
Yeah, but I'm excited, and everything's recorded. So if you miss something at some point, if you miss anything in the presentation area, it will be recorded, including the Q&A, and that will migrate to the platform for the 30-day on-demand period. So if you have a ticket, you can come back into the expo and watch the any of the presentations, and then at some point those will migrate up to YouTube so that they'll be available for consumption, later on.
Excellent. What's your YouTube channel? Is it just called QSO Today or
QSO Today Virtual Ham Expo?
The whole thing?
What
Okay.
I'll do is I'll find it and I'll send you a link real quick.
Okay. I remember the 30-day thing being talked about last time. I either missed the fact, or maybe it's something y'all changed about it after the 30 days expires, taking some presentations, putting them on YouTube, which is a great idea. I think that's a great idea, but yeah, that's good to know. It's good stuff.
Well, they're all there. I think they're all there. It's a lot, as you know, it's a lot of work to curate all of this content, and hopefully this time we've got some full-time people now, and those full-time people, when they're done with this expo and we start on the next one, August 14th. What we'll do is we'll actually spend more time curating the videos that we have, because we've got we'll have a pretty good library, almost 200 videos by the time this expo is over.
Right.
I already went ahead and threw up the chat, or the link in the chat. I'm scrolling through the videos now, and one of them popped out: 3D printing a microwave antenna. What?
Yeah. I remember seeing.
She's an amazing engineer and young person who put that up. So yeah. So there's something for everyone.
I remember seeing that last time.
By the way,
I didn't catch that presentation, but
with regard to that presentation, I actually had a young lady, 13 years old, send me a message after seeing that she was so inspired by that presentation that she's going to pursue her course in engineering as well, in radio engineering. So we can be an influence for good. So
yes, absolutely. That's great. Great to hear that.
Okay.
Great to hear that.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Always a good time, Eric. Thank you very much.
Okay,
Great
thank
information.
You. And I'm looking forward to seeing you all at the QSO Today Virtual Ham Expo next week.
Totally. Thank you. Looking forward to it. Thanks for your time tonight.
Take care.
All right, you too.
Bye-bye.
All right, Frank, you can just hang out there, and the window should change here in a second.
Sounds good.
And I'm
going to throw the links up there one more time.
Okay,
I'm going to, there will be a Virtual Ham Expo website followed by the YouTube channel.
Okay, good. I got 4 people's name on my list who we're gonna give away some tickets to. So I need you folks to email me your information so that I can go purchase the tickets and then give the Ham Expo people your names when I do purchase the tickets, so that the tickets don't go into my name, so they go into your name, and you'll have that information. So the 4 winners are Simple Self-Reliance. You've got a really long name. Simple Self-Reliance on a Budget. That's a cool name, and
that's a great topic.
I'd like to know what if that's a YouTube channel or if that's just something you named your account. Okay, No Code Tech, Intro_now, and Danny Blackhorse. So I would like to offer each of you a free ticket. Email me, kc5hwb@gmail.com. Tell me your YouTube name that I just read and your full name and your email address, which you'll be emailing me from. And when I go buy those tickets, I'll probably do it tomorrow. When I go buy those tickets, I'll tell the QSO Today Virtual Ham Expo guys that this ticket needs to go to this person. So, all right, let's take a look at the chat here.
Man, there's a lot of speakers and things they have lined up.
I'm excited to hear David Minster talk again. I interviewed him a while back, and he's got some really encouraging things to say about ARRL. So,
and talk about giveaways. There is a Flex Radio in a giveaway. R Finder, some batteries from Leno. CW Communications Inc. CW Shortwave Propagation Handbook 4th edition. Wow, I read that right off the cusp.
So people are asking what was people asking what was the number. The number was 77, which Simple Self-Reliance actually guessed that number, so he's at top of the list. But I discounted 73 completely because I said it's not 73. So I guessed the 3 other next numbers that I came up that I saw scroll past that were closest to 77. So anyway, it's a $10 ticket, guys. It's not like I'm giving away an IC705 here.
There's a question to what was your email address again?
It's KC5. Well, let me just put it in the chat. KC5HWB. It's my call sign. Kilo Charlie 5 Hotel Whiskey Bravo @gmail. Boom, just like that.
Don says, "I need another Flex Radio. If you have one, it's enough. Share the love. Give it to me."
Yeah. Shoot,
Ham it forward. No
Ham it forward.
No Code Tech.
So, we will be on. As I said, I was saying earlier, but that was right about the time when Eric joined and that I had that audio thing. The audio issues tonight were my fault, guys. Nothing happened, but I did change a couple of things on the Streamlabs on the back end, and then I just forgot to click a button. So that was all. So I apologize for that to get started.
There was a couple reports the audio dropped when you transitioned to the web page, but it was brief and I couldn't get it in there time you got on there, and I didn't want to interrupt the interruption.
No, that's okay. That's okay. That shouldn't have affected anything, but okay, I'll have to look at that later. But
yeah, it's just something to double check.
Yeah. So
what we have coming up, man?
So that's what we're going to talk about. So okay, so I was going to have John and Aaron from Last Man Standing on this coming Wednesday. I said this at the beginning, but we got a lot more watches now. I was going to have them on this coming Wednesday, but something changed with one of their schedules, or maybe I misunderstood what their schedule was. Anyway, They're going to be here a week from today. They're going to be here next Sunday. So we're going to have John, and I can't pronounce his last name. I say it wrong every time I say it. And I think the other guy's name is Aaron. You saw him on the intro clip that I shared. They're going to come, and one other person, I believe, they're going to come on and be interviewed next Sunday about the KA6 LMS event taking place on the last week of March. So a lot of operators will be operating across the country as Kilo Alpha 6 Lima Mike Sierra /0 through 9 and some special event stations. I'm going to be one of those numbers. I don't know which one yet. They haven't handed out the call signs yet, but I'm really looking forward to that. Going to be using my buddy Hex from Buddy Poll. I told the guys at Buddy Poll that, and they're like, "What is this event?" And I sent him the link to it, and then he got excited. So he's like, "Really?" So like, so it's going to be a fun thing. No Code Tech.
I was about to bring that up.
Oh, okay.
Draw again.
So he says he won't be able to attend. Okay, so let me scroll back up to where Travis says 101. How about Brian Bankert? Brian Bankert. He was 67. That was pretty close. Beer Snack says 762. Click on the $sign and add and type in 762 again, Dan. So Brian Blankert. Thank you, No Code Tech, for hamming it forward like that. Appreciate that. So, yeah, that's good.
Do you have anything coming up on this coming Monday?
Monday is Monday Night Ham Radio. Just that's going to be our next. I was actually editing that today after we got home. That's gonna be. I was just reading the chat. Let's see. If that guy's making trouble for you guys, let me know. You know who I'm talking about. So Monday Night Ham Radio tomorrow, I'm interviewing 6 new channels. Frank is the 7th channel.
Woo!
So we did a new smaller channels, new Ham Radio channels interview about a month and a half ago on the channel, and that was very well received, both on my channel and on their channels as well. Really enjoyed that. I like hearing from new Ham Radio channels, so we're going to do that again tomorrow night with 6 different channels that have not been on the show before, and then we have Frank on there. So, Simple Self-Reliance, what is the date for the event? It starts next Friday and goes all weekend. Next weekend. So, any info on the Buddy Poll Hex? I wish there was. I haven't heard anything as far as the release date. I assume you mean. I haven't heard anything yet about that. So, see, there goes Beer Snack. Proving me wrong. Thanks, buddy.
Well, we look a little light, at least on the schedule for Monday Night Ham Radio, but Tuesday Night Ham Radio.
Oh yeah, we're that's Tuesday night is the next build night on Kyle's channel. We're going to be building a power pole junction box thing. I've got it sitting right there. I can't get to it right now. But
that came in last week for me.
Good. Yeah. And I don't know if does Kyle have that link up on his channel yet? Go to Kyle's channel. I showed him how to I showed him how to link his pre-planned live streams on the front of his page the other day because they weren't linking correctly for whatever reason. David Potter with the $20 super chat. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that support out there. And yeah, that's good. Let's say we go, hey, the last couple weeks ago, we did a new thing where we did an after chat on Twitch. Let's say we do that again. Y'all want to migrate to Twitch, and I'll send out a StreamYard link, and we can, actually, I'll just send out my Zoom. I'll just keep this going, send out my Zoom link. And anybody who wants to come on and ask a question is about the QSO Today Virtual Hamfest or about, what else they were talking about in there. Travis says, I sent $50 and my check bounced. Sorry, guys. He probably owes me about 5 times that much in beer money. But that's okay. So
I went ahead and tossed that link to the build video on Kyle's channel.
Good.
And that stuff is back there. Man,
There
I
it
gotta,
is. Okay.
I gotta set up the table.
Yeah.
I gotta figure out how I'm gonna do that.
I'm glad I'm back home because I've got my camera, my overhead camera that can look down on the table now.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out how to do.
So Monday Night Ham Radio tomorrow, build night on Kyle's channel on Tuesday, Wednesday. I'm doing something on Wednesday. I don't remember what it is. The Thursday night Ham Radio will be regular, and then Friday will be our next our monthly happy hour, which will be done through the podcast pavilion on the QSO Today Ham Radio Expo, and then we'll get
Wednesday is lunch stream.
Yes, Wednesday's lunch stream. So we're gonna shoot from the hip since I was planning on having John and the guys on this week.
Mhm.
We have our clear schedule. I actually reached out to Bob earlier and see if he wanted to come back on.
Bob,
New York Bob, not Idaho Bob.
No,
Idaho
I knew it's Bob.
Idaho Bob's going to come back on. I told him to pick a date, and he hadn't got back with me yet. But I really want to follow up with Idaho Bob.
Woo!
So
Bob.
yeah, that Bob.
That's how we're going to refer to him.
Yeah. Okay. All right, guys, we're going to shut it down. Go to twitch.tv/KC5HWB. We're going to spin up a after chat and just talk about anything in Ham Radio you want to talk about. You want to join the Zoom channel and talk to us, you are more than welcome to. So 73 to all, and I'm going to switch off here. And then once again, twitch.com/KC5HWB. Go ahead and join us there.
Got the link in the chat.
Perfect. Thanks.